Hi, it's Mike from the Run Testers, and this is the first video in our partnership series with COROS, where we deep dive into the tech that make their watches tick. First up is track modes. We're going to explain what it is, how you use it, and some useful tips to make better use of it when you're training. COROS was the first running watch brand to bring us a dedicated track mode. So what is track mode? Well, it's essentially a mode that's designed to capture a more reliable picture of your outdoor track session. So when you select the mode on your watch, you'll be able to choose the lane you're going to run in. After running a single lap of the track in that lane, COROS uses the GPS on your watch and its algorithm smarts to recognise it's in track mode and aim to capture the session as you continue to put more reps in. If you have to switch lanes for any reason during the session, you can hit pause and choose to start tracking from a different lane. The more you run on a track, the better it will become in recognising it and of course lead to better capturing the session. After your session, you can dive into the companion phone app to get a more detailed look at those more precise stats.
So one of the big questions we get asked a lot really is why track mode? What does it do? Why is it useful? How can it benefit your training? And here are 7 reasons that you might want to use track mode to boost your training and stats.
It means you can track the distance of all the different lanes that you could be running in, and it'll give you better accuracy for your post-run analysis.
It'll also learn the track that you most regularly use to make your stats more accurate.
It can help with pacing, especially when you're doing longer reps.
It's also useful if you get knocked out of your track lane during your session.
It can also help make your data more accurate, which is really useful if you've got a coach who's looking at all of your analysis remotely.
So the other benefit of track mode is that the distance is accurate enough that you can set a workout up on the watch and then let it do the splits for you. So normally when I hit the finish line on a track rep, I'll be hitting lap split every time to make sure I'm getting an accurate distance. This is going to take the lap as you cross that 400 meter line for you. You don't have to worry about your watch. Set your workout up. It will guide you through the workout without any more button pressing, which is obviously always a benefit.
So now you know how it works and what the benefits are. Let's go and do a couple of sessions so you can see how we might put this into practice.
So session I'm doing today is kind of one of my classic pre-race sessions I do. I've got a 10K this Saturday, so I'm going to be doing a kind of a warm-up session for that. So it's not too high volume, but there's going to be plenty of pace in there. I'm going to do a 1 mile rep, have a little break, and then do 3 sets of 3 times 400 meter reps. And the pace isn't going to be too high. I'm going to be kind of doing those reps around the pace I'm going to do in the 10K race, a little bit faster on the 400 meter reps. It's all about getting the legs turning over nicely, the body showing that the body is in good working order, ready for a race at the weekend.
So the session that I'm going to show you now isn't particularly a structured session. It's not something you would find a coach would give you, but it's something that sometimes when I come to the track and I'm going to run long, I will do it here. So essentially what I'll do is I'll go from lane 1 and I'll do a lap and I'll run out to lane 8, moving out 1 lap each time, and then I'll run back in. And what it does, it's basically like a little psychological trick for me, because it means I know how to kind of count the laps, I don't lose count of where I am. But also it just means I get a sense of progress throughout that kind of workout, which I really like, rather than just doing kind of monotonous laps. It gives me another thing to think about as I'm doing it. So that's a session I'm going to do. I'll be using the watch as I go, changing lanes. Obviously I wouldn't recommend necessarily that you would change your lane every time, but we thought this would be a good way of showing you exactly what the COROS Track Mode can do. And afterwards actually you might also get a fancy bit of track art. We'll see how it looks anyway. So the other thing that's interesting about that, actually obviously The inside lane is slightly shorter than the lane number 2, lane number 3, lane number 4. They get longer as you go out. So you are kind of doing a little bit of like a pyramid run. If you're trying to run and hit certain times with each lap, say 70 seconds, each lap you do will get a little bit tougher. So it does work as a kind of sort of faux pyramid session as well. So if all this has also inspired you to get down to the track to do a few more sessions, or you've never been and you're not really sure what to do, here are a couple of other sessions that the run testers have done in the past that can really kind of help you benchmark your pacing and also just make track running a little bit more interesting and a little bit more precise. So here are 2 sessions that you might want to try out for yourselves. So first up is a very popular track session named after its creator. These are the Yasso 800s. They involve running a series of up to 10 fast 800-meter intervals, and those are alternated with short rest periods. Now this session will give you the feel for the effort and speed of running a marathon at your target pace, and it can help you develop speed, pace and endurance for that purpose. It'll also let you know how realistic your current marathon target goal is, or where you're at in your training progress towards that goal. So here's how you do it. You take your goal marathon pace, for example 3 hours 30 minutes, and you convert that time to minutes and seconds, for example 3 minutes 30 seconds. You then try and run your 800 meter intervals in that time, in 3 minutes 30 seconds, with your recovery time equal to the rep target time. So you get 3 minutes 30 seconds to run your 800 meter lap, and then you get 3 minutes 30 to recover. You can repeat this session regularly and build reps up to a maximum of 10 reps. So the 5K distance has become pretty popular recently, but if you're not sure what your baseline 5K pace is, this is a session that can help you discover that. Here's what you do. You hit the track and run 2 miles. That's around 8 laps at a conversational pace, nice and easy. And then for a final mile, another 4 laps, you're going to speed up to an intensity which you can only utter a few words at a time, so blowing a bit. A few days later, you return to the track and then you'd run 3 1-mile repeats, all at that pace that you ran your 3rd mile in your earlier session. You jog recover for 800 meters between each rep, and if your 3rd rep is at least as fast as the 1st, then your baseline pace is ideal. However, if you slow down, you can then use the average pace of the 3-mile repeats to find your 5K baseline pace. So there you have it, we're finished at the track for the day. That is how you use track mode and some of the benefits you can find from it. You'll find that on all the COROS watches. But for now, you've been watching the Run Testers. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can hear about our other videos when they come out in this series. And we will see you again soon. Thanks a lot.